Hello, World of Tank Blitzers, it's Littlefinger. Today, doing a full tank review on the Vickers Light. This is a Tier 10 British tank. Just came out yesterday with the new line coming off of the Comet, going to the FE301, Vickers CR, and Vickers Light. As far as my preference of playing these tanks, the Light is my favorite, followed by the CR, and the FV301 is fun, but you just have to be on target too much of a pew pew gun. But you know, this tank here has a really nice, accurate gun. Not very stylish to look at. Does get some troll bounces on the frontal armor, and we'll break this down as we get into the review. Real quick, let me just run through the setup here. Repair kit, multi-purpose, adrenaline, provisions, running improved fuel, pudding and tea, and black tea. Equipment straight down the left on the combat power. Yes, that's gun rammer, defense system, improved optics, enhanced gun lane drive, improved assembly, engine accelerator, and a vertical stabilizer. Does have a good bit of bounce in the turret when you're stopping to shoot. So that's why I decided I was running refined gun to begin with, and I switched it over to the vertical stabilizer. I was also running calibrated shells to begin with. I've switched it back to the gun rammer. This 3200 is going to get you right up there with the Object 140s, T62As. You can go toe to toe with a medium tank if you're running the gun rammer. Alright guys, so I got blitzhanger.com pulled up here. I think it does a great job in summarizing this Vickers light tank. You know, there's only 3 light tanks, so there's really not much point in doing a comparison with those. So let's look at it as compared to all tier 10 tanks. You've got the best fuel range. Obviously, you're a light tank. You only have 1800 hit points. That is the downside, as is the firepower. But setting it up with the gun rammer, there's only going to be 16 tanks out there that are going to be able to out DPM you. So keep that in mind as you go into brawling situations. Pen numbers are not great with this configuration. You are going to have trouble with like a hold down E100 or something like that. But again, you have that mobility to relocate and get shots into the sides and back. 1478 as far as your velocity on your shots go. So this is a great sniping tank, and I'll show you that in one of my replays that I'm going to show. Again, rate of fire, reload time, these are all really nice numbers, and it fits into that statistic where I like it's not a high damage, long reloading gun, and it's not a high reloading, low damage pew pew gun. It fits right into the middle, and I just love that for being able to do a lot of damage over the course of a game. So look at these gun handling numbers. This is all green, guys. Only your dispersion at 0.31. Anything below 0.3 is great, and you can't get it below there if you want to change out your equipment a little bit. But you know, 10 degrees of gun depression. You do get a few bounces off of the 152 millimeters, I think it is, on the turret. Turret traverse speed 48. This thing is, you know, it just moves so well, and that is shown here in these mobility statistics. Number 1 as far as forwards, backwards, these train numbers. You know, it is just a great tank that gets around, and yes, it is. Interesting timing of the release of this tank, which we'll get into a little bit later. Alright guys, first game, Naval Frontier. This is a supremacy game, obviously. As a tier 10, always going to be top tier in the Vickers Light. And so I had made a comment there during the configuration part about the timing of the release of this tank, and I just wonder if there's any sort of conspiracy at all, in the sense that Wargaming brings out the Sheridan, OP, totally broken missiles, everyone's complaining, so they jack up the hit points on all of these heavies because people aren't playing heavies because damn missiles are shooting them left and right. Think about it, the mouse has 3,000 hit points. I'm here a little over 1,800. So now they bring out a whole new line of light tanks, and it's nice to see a third light tank in the group. But I'm just wondering if they planned that or if that was just circumstantial. Anyway, as you can see, we've pushed up to B to get our spotting in. The FV has a shot, so I'm trying to get 2 shots to 1 in there. Nope, he is going to back away. The VK there, we can't pen him, so we're going to switch over to Heat. And now we are finally spotted. Yagaru there behind us. Unfortunately, he does not have a very good game. And you can see we're already down 2 tanks. I'm in the middle of a hellhole right here. I've got tanks to my left and right and front. But the nice thing about this tank is look at this ability to just get yourself out of trouble. 65 kilometers per hour is the top speed. And, you know, we get there pretty quickly, which allows us to, like, push up this hill. I should have seen that the Progetto was running away from this position, but I was hoping I could get in and flank the Hori. But if he's turned and facing me, nah. Not sure if you noticed a little bit of bounce there in the turret. This was before I switched over to the vertical stabilizers, so I do think the vertical stabilizers help a good bit, and that is right now my preference. But one of those things you can go back and forth and try for yourself. And at this point, we're down 3 tanks. And, you know, one of the nice things that you can do as a light tank, I know there's 2 over here. I am totally a distraction at this point. I am allowing my other guys there to get in and do some damage when they've turned to look at me. Poor decision there to shoot when I wasn't perpendicular. But, you know, so allows myself some time to get in there and get help for my team, even though this game is already over. Look, here comes the cavalry. But you can see we've done our part. We're at 2,800 damage, and we haven't even taken a shot yet. But we're boxed in. There's nowhere to go. But again, we can use our speed, and you know, like I said, 2 on 5 at this point. The game's over. I'm just farming damage at this point. Sorry, Hori. We're just gonna drive around you. We will finish off this T-92. We're at 935 in cap points. Nothing we're gonna do 1-on-4 as a light tank. But again, just look at the speed and the inability of this FV to get turned and get a shot in. There's more damage, another kill, but it's all over. 4,600 damage, and you know, even though it's a loss, it's still fun to do the damage and you know, be able to play like this in a light tank. 15 shots landed there. Alright guys, so here's the second battle. This is Rockfill. Just an encounter battle here, and as you can see, we got 3 heavies on either side. They've got 3 TDs and the Vickers CR. So we've got a medium, 2 TDs, and a light. So I'm really just at this point in time just waiting it out, seeing which side our heavies want to go. You know, the last thing you want to do in this tank, and it's very easy to do with so much speed, is to push too far and get yourself into trouble. So make sure you've got support behind you. Obviously, as a light tank, you want to do the best you can at spotting. But in this game, you'll get to see a good bit of kind of long distance sniping, which this tank is also very good at. So 10 degrees of gun depression allows me to find some nice hills that if they do, you know, spot up, I can hide behind. And so we've got beautiful view range, so we're spotting up these tanks, getting damage assistant. And even though that didn't pen, I mean, that was a shot across the map on a moving E-75. You'll notice a lot of red. That is the downside with this setup without running the calibrated shells. But I do think the trade-off is worth it because you've got such great mobility. You can find a way to get yourself into positions to get pen on these heavy tanks that even some of these TDs, you'll see even this tier 9 Foch in this game, very difficult to pen frontally. At this point, I'd like to ask, if you're enjoying my content, guys, please hit that subscribe button. Really helps me out, working our way to 10K. And I can only do it with your help, and of course it is free. So do that now. Hit that subscribe button. You'll see here a couple shots come in where we're bouncing shots off of our turret. So having that 150mm armor up there, it's not a tank that you can pen everywhere. So I have found several times where I'm getting some decent bounces when I'm hold down. Here, look at these shots right here. He's not showing much of his side, but obviously he is. So we'll wait for that and turn and shoot. 350 is your average roll. And I have a feeling, that they're going to start pushing us. All their heavies there. We're down still towards their spawn side. So I'm making sure I know where my team is, and I know where, I'm kind of baiting them towards them, so to speak. So here they come. And, we'll find some nice hard cover. And relocate so that we can do a little peek-a-boom. E100 from the front. Nope. Certainly not penning that even with heat. For a team that I thought, weren't going to be helping out too much, these heavies here really did the right thing and got this E100 down super low health. And again, here's E100 from the front. You can shoot that lower plate, so as long as he is not hull down, that isn't a problem. And you can see just how accurate this gun is. It's got a really nice reload time. And we're at 3k damage already. This was a little bit of a risky move driving into the middle, as they still had that FV over there. But I wanted to chase down the Vickers. Should have shot HE into his butt, the first one there. Now he's showing me a little bit of side. Not worth the risk. We'll take our 350, 360 damage. Power up around the hill, and I was hoping to get the kill shot here, but the E100 gets it. Look at all that red on that Foch. Yeah, not much we can do with that, but we're now 4 on 2, so this game has gone much better. We'll get a shot into the side there of the Foch, and that's what I love about this tank. It's just got the mobility to get you into points on the map where you're going to be doing damage. Obviously, driving light tanks is not easy. You have to be very map aware and know what's going on. You can get yourself into trouble, but you can also do lots of damage, like that game right there. And as you can see, we either spotted or did damage to everybody on that team there. Alright, as we slide into this last game here on Desert Sands, little shout out to Cruel there, fellow clan member on the other side. So, to me, this is, you know, the light tank dream map. Hills, open spaces, the ability to, you know, just wreak havoc from all different directions. And you'll see that kind of unfold here in this battle. And again, I just can't state enough, you know, how nice it is to have, and I think this game here is with the calibrated shell. Well, yes, with calibrated shells. So our reload here is a little bit longer at 7 seconds. We've got a little bit more pen, but really I wasn't having any trouble with penning, which is why I played several games there with the gun rammer. So look at this, some couple bounces. They've got some tanks down there. We're bouncing missiles again. I've bounced several missiles in this tank. And so there you see, into trouble, out of trouble, and you know, just time to relocate. Let's see where they are. Let's see if we can find a weak tank all by himself. Obviously, they've got some tanks that are pointed down the line. Let's work on, you know, some peek-a-boom here. This Yag Tiger's kind of in the middle by himself. We'll get a shot off and back on down the hill. Got a couple of them pushing on to the right side. And again, you know, up into trouble. Miss our shot. That was unfortunate. But we're so fast, we tie them up, you know. They can't even hardly turn their turrets fast enough. Another shot goes a little bit low, and unfortunately, you know, it happens. You can't hit them all. But now I see that, you know, there's a big fight going on the other side of the railroad. It's only these guys left here, so again, in and out. Trying to keep our Sheridan in the game here. Although I do a bad job of driving. And it is 7 on 3, 6 on 3 as we take out the Vickers Light there. So, Old Glory wasn't too happy. I have, yeah, Cruel Jew. Yeah, he's not too happy. Had a couple games against him. Alright, so now we've got down to 5 on 2. There goes the FV. Alright, so he can get into the mound here and get and reload. I am just now waiting for him to reload, and we'll push on the Sheridan when he is ready. Again, I shot low. Seems to be a habit there. But he's going to quickly reload and finish off the Sheridan. I'm going to go after the Leopard here, and not sure how that. Yeah. But you can see you got some nice HE pen on this, especially if you're after some light tanks. Yeah, some nice damage there, 470. Finish him off, and you know, we're using our mobility here. We're getting up and behind the T-95, and our FV does a great job of just staying alive. And yes, we can even shoot HE into the backside of the T-95. See big numbers. Report E100 tells me that he is AFK. taking on this T-95 all by herself. Add that to the hit point total for this game, and away we go to an AFK E100, who was last seen on the other side of the railroad track. Sure enough, there he is, 1,200 hit points. I'm going to share this with the FV. And now we can see some bullet holes. And the kill shot there. So, you can see, I really am enjoying this tank. I love the mobility. I love the accuracy of the gun. It can be a sniper. You know, you can drive it like your butt's on fire, get into and out of trouble. And right now, that is more fun than I've had in this game in a long time, because you can't count on your team. Don't worry about your win rate right now, guys. Just worry about staying alive, doing damage. Try to bring up that damage per battle number. That's what you should be focusing on. That's going to make you a better player. And I really hope you got a lot out of this video. And as always, have fun out there. Stay safe. Get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.